Good evening. Welcome to FOST. I'm your host, Aaron Flowers. I hope you are enjoying this beautiful Tuesday evening. What a second week of NFL football. Um, man, thank you for, first and foremost, thank you for coming to or listening to Fans Only Sports Talk. That's FOST, as you see on the bottom of your screen. For those that's on Spotify, and all the other pod channels. You can also view us on Facebook, YouTube, um, Twitter, and see us live. Thank y'all for the love that y'all have been showing. FOST, Fans Only Sports Talk. Um, Got to give this disclaimer. We are just fans talking about the sport we love. Basically, the sport that we're loving right now is the NFL, the National Football League. And any music that you may hear or graphics that you may see, we do not own the copyrights to, so please do not sue us. There will be language in here that might be a little unsuitable for children under the age of 18. So please, parents, show discretion and make sure you monitor what your children are watching. It has been a great week of football. As you can see, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. The tush push may be banned, but we're going to get into that a little bit later on because there is so much going on, so much. It seemed like this is hurt week, not Jalen hurt week, but hurt week for players that got injured in the NFL. And then we have a segment today that I forgot about in my previous FOST splash. And this is also splash. I'm sorry. So excited about what I'm about to get into. Um, we're going to talk about the 100 players that and the selection in the order that they were selected in. So right now we first started off with the top part or the lower part of it. Now we're going to go to the 80s. I think we're in the 80 part of it. So I'm going to be talking to you about that also. And if you're watching FOST and you want some comments and you want to add some things to what I am saying, I got my handy cell phone with me right here. So I can look up some things and also we could talk football all evening long. All right, let's get back to the agenda. The agenda here is there we go. Fans Only Sports Talk. Should have brought that up earlier. Top 100s. All right. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to exclude myself in the lower corner. Maybe I should exclude myself out of the picture. Top 100s. We're at 90 to 80. Yeah, 90 to 81. All right. We got Zach Allen from the Denver Broncos. Zach Allen, to me, is a pretty good player for Denver. I mean, when you look at Denver's defense and offensive line, they're kind of stacked. They are a young team. To me, they're a young team with that young quarterback. Um, but Zach Allen at 90, I can see that. James Cook at 89. So maybe this should be a question. I mean, he's a good running back. At 89, is there 89 other running backs? Or is there any other running backs that's better than James Cook? I know there are some, but James Cook, I don't think get used enough in order to get to maybe that near that 2,000-yard mark. That's just me. I don't know. But I think he should have been a little bit higher. Andrew Van McGinn, Kill. Gene Kill, if I mess up the name, Andrew, you play for the. See, I done got blank. You play for the Vikings. I don't know anything much about Andrew, but hey, I need to look up some of his highlights to make sure that he does deserve this spot. So I'm going to take the time up to look at Andrew's highlights. All right. Andrew. And let's see. All right. Linebacker. Okay. Uh hmm. 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 It's it's amazing. Okay. He's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm looking at the highlights right now. Uh I would like to show it to you, but I can't show it to you because on YouTube it's been telling me that we couldn't share the highlights along with certain things. But as I'm looking at him in these highlight reels, he's not bad. He's not bad at all. Turnovers against the Giants, takes it back. Uh, was going against Daniel Jones, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Brock Purdy comes, sack Brock Purdy. Okay, okay. And I know the Vikings do have a wonderful, I mean, great defense. You might not seen it much lately, but I mean, the Vikings and their defensive coordinator, I believe that they're going to be in the top 5 by the end of the year. Um, this kid looks pretty good, and he's at 88. Okay, maybe there's others that's better than him, but from what I see on his highlight films that I just looked at, he's solid. He's solid. All right, we got Quinion Williams. Hmm. See what Quinion Williams is. You know, my thing with the Jets is as we're talking through these these top hundreds, um, my thing with the Jets is this. The Jets seem like it's a team that has so much potential to be something better, but injuries always plagues them. Like they got the injury bug for years in and out. Like I don't know, have they had a full season where their quarterback has not been injured? Even this year, um, my boy Justin Fields is out with a concussion. Hope he gets himself together that he may play in either week 3 or week 4. But in the same token, what are y'all doing to protect these quarterbacks out there? What are especially with the Jets? I mean, Jets. I don't know what is going on over there, but it seems like you got the bug, the hurt bug, man. Seems like the quarterback can never stay healthy. Never stay healthy. And for me, I'm not a Jets fan, but I am a Eagles fan, but also a football fan. And you never want to see one of your prize stars, as in a quarterback, go down in the second game of the season. So I mean, it is what it is, but you got to persevere through. But things like the Jets always have. their quarterback injured, you know. Um, and it's kind of rough because you really can't see the potential of the quarterback if they're not on the field. Plain and simple. We may have Justin Fields has been to what I want to say he was at Chicago, got ousted out of Chicago, went to Pittsburgh, which he was doing well, then got ousted there. Him and Russ got ousted out of Pittsburgh, and then he winds up going to the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers is going to Pittsburgh. So I mean, I like Justin Fields. I really do. I think that Justin Fields is one of those quarterbacks that just needs a chance. Just needs a chance. Let's see. Quinn Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams. Let's see. Quinn. Uh, Williams. Quinnen Williams highlights. Let's see what Quinnen Williams look like. Quinnen Williams, a defensive tackle for the Jets. Yep. Nothing but good things they say about Quinnen Williams. He's a run stopper. Pushes people into the quarterback. He makes plays. Big boy though. Real big boy. Best defensive lineman in Alabama. Alabama George Dog. Yes. He gets props from me because he's from Alabama. He should be hired just because he's from Alabama. Laramie Tunzel. Great player, should be hired. Kyrene Williams. Let's see. Kyrene Williams. Kyrene Williams. Kyrene Williams. Let's see what you look like, bro. Let's see what you look like. I know this dude. Okay. Kyren Williams. I called him Kyrene. Kyren Williams. I don't know. Maybe a little higher. He's at 85, but I think could be a little bit higher. In that offense, I think they use him out of the backfield, and very athletic dude. As I see him flipping in and getting into the end zone, yeah, I think maybe that's 85. Maybe should be a nice spot for him. Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez. I like the name. Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez. All right, Christian Gonzalez. I say Shoe Gonzalez. I tell you, my computer be acting simple sometimes. Christian Gonzalez, 84 corner. You know what? If Christian Gonzalez is related, I wonder is he related to our other Gonzalez that used to play? Could be. Cornerback. He might be related to Tony Gonzalez. I may. Oh, maybe right. I can see him about there. Yeah, definitely can see him about that area. All right, Cam Hayward. Wow, Cam Hayward seems to be to me should have been little higher, along with Jerry Judy and Trent Duffy should be a little higher than that. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong, but um, the last three on this list should be higher than 81, 82, and 83. Cam Ward, Hayward, um, my boy that's up there, McDuffie, and Jerry Judy. They all needed to be a little bit higher than what they are. I don't know why they're at the point that they are, but it is what it is. They're focal points, and people have their own opinions, just like I do. In my opinion, is they should have been higher on the top 100, and they probably feel as though that they need to be higher on the top 100. Hell, somebody need to tell somebody to put them higher than 83, 82, and 81. But we will see on the next list. Most of you have already seen it. I'm just giving my opinion on the top 100 list on Flash. So this is my thoughts on Splash. All right, let's talk about the NFL Week 1, Week 2 injuries. This, when you look at the NFL, I keep saying NFL stands for not for long, not for long. Not for long. That's what I think the NFL stands for, because some people don't know how to slide to save their life. You know, um, when you look at Jaden Daniels, and you you wonder sometimes. You just wonder, why don't he slide? Like, this is when I looked at that video and I seen how he got hit. I'm like, whoa, I need this brother to slide. RG3, little light. I mean, maybe 200 and maybe 200 pounds, barely. RG3 was. Mike Vick, probably 200 pounds even, or a little lighter. When I think of Jaden Daniels and the potential that he has for the Commanders, I'm thinking that maybe this brother need to either run out of bounds or slide. My thought is the value of Jaden Daniels to that team. After having a phenomenal rookie season, taking his team to the NFC championship game, you know, I mean, this kid showed poise throughout the whole season. He showed that he's a leader. He shows that he has the determination and the will to win. Even when he was nicked up on last season, he still played through it. And so this is one of the things I love about um, Jaden Daniels, but it also concerns me about Jaden Daniels due to the fact that he doesn't slide. He's a competitor, and he wants to win, and he'll do all that it takes to win. He only needs, or the other team needs, one hit to knock him out. And this is what happens. This brother, to me, will be a phenomenal. We'll be talking about Jaden Daniels for the next 7 to 10 years if his coaches teaches him how to slide and get out of bounds and stop putting himself in harm's way. You know, this is a conundrum for me. Why you're not teaching this young man to slide? Like, what will it take in order for you to say, hey, Jaden, you're something special to us. We need you. Um, just want you to slide, bro. Whatever you do, just get down and slide. That that's all we need you to do is just get down and slide. You know, and we don't see that with him because due to the fact that he's a competitor. But there's other ways to compete without putting yourself in harm's way. And when I look through this list, as I go through and talk with y'all about these injuries, some of these injuries could be avoided if you tell your quarterback to, yo, slide, get out the way. What's that ludicrous song? Move, get out the way, get out the way. I need you to move, get out the way. That's what we need for you. That's what we need for you, Jaden Daniels, to move out the way, get out the way. Slide when you see them people come. You know, they're coming with intentions to hurt. They're coming with intentions to remove you from the game. Just in case you didn't know that. You are very vital to your team. And your teammates need you. They need you, man. Start sliding, bro. I don't care if it's a cha-cha slide or electric slide. Get down. Get out. Because the future of the Commanders is on your shoulders. Dun, dun, dun. Future of the Commanders is on your shoulders. Had to just put that in. I saw that on a bit. Now, as we were talking about other quarterbacks or Jaden Daniels, let's talk about Joe Burrow. Second year that Joe Burrow's been injured. Let's see what the headlines say. ESPN, Adam Schefter reports earlier Monday morning that Joe Burrow will need surgery on his toe and is expected to be missing at least 3 months. With the timeline, Burrow will be back sometime in the middle of December, the earliest. It is a tough break for everyone involved. Jake Browning came in and led the Bengals to a victory, but their rumbling Cincy will have to bring a veteran quarterback in some depth. Let me put it like this. Joe Burrow. I saw the bit on Joe Burrow that he did and when he was injured last year and all these other things. And he had high expectations, very high expectations. I didn't actually see the injury that happened to Joe Burrow, but I can say that it looks frustrating right now. This is frustrating. It's frustrating for Joe Burrow. It's frustrating for the Cincinnati Bengals. It is frustrating to see this man be talked about in the highest esteem, but doesn't get a chance to make it back to the Super Bowl due to injuries. And when injuries come back to back to back, that is frustrating as hell because you want to be on the field. You want to command your team. You want to show people that all the talk, all the rhetoric that he's been taking, you want to show people that you can maintain to be healthy and do your thing while you're on the field. And Joe Burrow just has not done that due to injuries. Now, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying he can't be Joe Cool when he's always on the stretcher getting pulled, or he don't have a chance to play because he's injured, or he don't have an offensive line to protect him, or he don't have a defense to maintain, so he doesn't have to throw for 5,000, 6,000 yards a season, or he can get a running back to run the ball to take some pressure off of him, or there's a lot of ors. I could or all night long. I could be like Lionel Richie all night long with this. Cincinnati, you put your star quarterback in jeopardy every time you didn't sign a defensive player to help that defense out. Yes, the offense looked great. Chase, Higgins, that the offense is great, but we go back to the old saying that defense win games because defenses put you in position where they can cut the field in half with interceptions, fumble recoveries, or just getting them 3 and out. They got a punt, things of that nature. When you have to rely on one side of your team to do all the work, then it's not a team. Team effort is when everybody's involved, everybody's doing what they need to do in order to win the game. Plain and simple. That's one thing I love about Philadelphia. It's no big I's, ain't no big U's, it ain't no big me's. It's about winning. That's all it's about. And everybody buys into the system of wanting to win. And so if everyone, according to the owner, the GM, the coaches, the players, the families, all of them buy into this to make sure you do what you need to do in order for the whole team to celebrate at the end of the season. And Joe Burrow, brother man, I feel for you, dude. I really do. I feel for you. Because here's another opportunity wasted. Wasted due to injury. Talked about Jaden Daniels earlier before I talked about Joe Burrow. And Jaden Daniels, this is what has been said. The Commanders QB was seen limping late Thursday Night Football and in week 2. The Packers, it seemed like a knee is more of an issue than originally thought of. The NFL Network is reporting Daniels has a sprained knee and his status for week 3 versus the Raiders is doubtful. Okay. It's a sprained knee. And that takes time to heal too. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Jaden, I need you to slide, bro. Electric slide, cha-cha slide, one of them slides, baseball slide, home run slide. I don't care. Just slide, bro. Slide. Just slide. All right. Next thing, we go to the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings. Ankle. J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings are in a rough shape after a week 2 loss to the Falcons. McCarthy is the latest player to go down with an injury, dealing with a high sprain injury. And the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, McCarthy is unlikely to play in week 3. Could be sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks. Would mean that Carson Wentz will go under center against the Bengals. This is going to be interesting. Both quarterbacks are out. Running back Aaron Jones is doubtful also, McCarthy said. Hadn't played well in over 2 starts, so perhaps Wentz is an upgrade for the passing game. All right, now click back over here. What's the coach's name? McConnell? Kevin McConnell? Yeah, McCarthy. All right. McCarthy. All right. What you did with Sam Darnold was amazing. But at the end, we seen the weakness of Sam Darnold. All right. If McCarthy turns Wentz back to MVP Wentz, you know what? He's a genius. He's a genius. Because my boy Kai Bryant, shout out to Kai for giving me this information. Since Carson Wentz left the Philadelphia Eagles, he has played for 6 different teams. 6 different teams each year. 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. 22, 20, 2020, 22, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, and the Eagles will make 26. All right. 6 different teams. If you could make Carson Wentz into something spectacular, guess what? You deserve head coach of the year. I know you did it with Sam Darnold. JJ McCarthy, to me, he is a young quarterback and he is going through growing pains, and we see that. He struggled in these first 2 games. It's going to be interesting as a team with the Minnesota Vikings. They still have those offensive weapons. It's going to be interesting with Minnesota going against the Bengals. Second string quarterback. Because here's the thing, let's be honest, in preseason, the Philadelphia Eagles went against the Bengals, and the Bengals started their starters. And our second string quarterback, because we didn't start our starters, our second string, not the first string quarterback, not Jalen Hurts, but Tanner McKee shredded through your first team defense just like it was paper. It was like putting the paper in the shredder. It's like every time you see, just shred it right on through. Made your defense look like confetti. Now, I'm going to go and say it right here now on FOST Splash segment. That's what we on, the Splash segment. And I'm going off to say that Minnesota's going to win this game because of the defense. And I'm going to go ahead and pick them. That's right, people. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Minnesota Vikings over the Cincinnati Bengals with no Joe Burrow. Because Cincinnati has no defense. At least I know the Vikings have defense. They will be a top 5 defense. You heard it first here on FOST. All right. Talked about JJ McCarthy. Let's talk about Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed for the wide receivers, wide receivers, wide receiver for the Packers, collarbone. Reed went down on Thursday Night Football and will miss extended time for the Packers and will face the Cleveland Browns, looking to go 3-0 in week 3. With Reed out, it means more snap targets to go around, which something McFleur or Matt LaFleur loves to do is spread the love. Reed's injury means that Donovan Wicks and Romeo Dobbs are primary wideouts. Okay, let me say this. Primary run. Green Bay is so freaking good, y'all. One wide receiver to me being out has nothing to do with what Jordan Love does with that offense and what that running game does, what that defense does, what that offensive line gives. Now having Michael Parsons in the house, you can't tell me that they can't win this game against the Cleveland Browns. That's all I got to say about that. In my Forrest Gump. And that's all I got to say about that. Austin Eckler. See, and this is another thing about the Commanders. All right. Austin Eckler for the Commanders. Achilles. Eckler tore his Achilles on Thursday Night Football and will miss the remainder of the 2025 season. So let me put myself on camera because I need to see this. Can I vent for a second? Can I really get up in here? Let me get up in here real quick with this microphone. Check this out. You wind up getting rid of your running back, trading your running back away. Robin. Keep an old Eckler. Now Eckler's hurt. Where in the world is your running back? I didn't think this through. You really didn't think. If there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, okay, that's fine and dandy. But that to me makes no sense. A young running back that you wind up trading away. Where did that running back go? You traded away, kept old Eckler. Now Eckler is hurt. Your quarterback is hurt. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. Now you have to call around to see if you get another running back. You got your backup quarterback in there. Now, I should be happy as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I should be. But I'm going back in my Forrest Gump mode. Stupid is what stupid does. I'm going to leave that alone. And that's all I got to say about that. All right. Next one. Justin Fields, quarterback for the New York Jets. Fields was forced out of week 2 versus the Bills late due to a concussion. Fields is in the NFL concussion protocol and will need to be cleared. Okay. He may be out the game. This is an issue. You know, we see concussions happen in the NFL all the time. We really do. Um, but when there's too many concussions happening to one person, this can be a problem. We see that with Tua. You know, Tua has been concussed over and over and over again, and so much to the point that the value of his safety is under scrutiny all the time when he steps on that field. I like Fields. I like Justin Fields. I really do. I think he was snowballed out of Chicago. I think he was snowballed out of being the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that the Jets could have really, really used this guy, and we can see the greatness in Justin Fields. You know, Justin Fields, I hope and pray that you get well soon. Um, bad blow, man. Um, but hopefully, prayerfully, you can persevere and get through this and come back on fire. I mean, on fire, bro. And as I spoke earlier about the Vikings, they just pulled this up. Aaron Jones, running back for the Vikings, hamstring. Jones was forced to exit the game on Sunday night versus the Falcons in the fourth quarter. He finished the loss with just 5 carries for 23 yards and 1 target. It was a much worse showing than week 1 when Jones had 8 carries for 23 yards and 3 catches for 44 yards and a score. If Jones misses any time, Jordan Mason will take over the backfield and become a very strong running back too. All right. I'm pausing because due to the fact now I'm trying to get my words together. Minnesota last year, and I'm going back to Minnesota. Minnesota was a phenomenal team until they reached the playoffs. Um, Phenomenal team, and the coach coached them well. Minnesota to me right now is like the Commanders situation. They're both in the same boat, losing quarterback and running back. Um, and now people had a year to look at tape on the Minnesota Vikings, and they had tape to look on the Washington Commanders. So if you are concerned or if you're a fan of either one of those teams, red light is blinking or the yellow light is blinking because you have to proceed with caution. You really have to proceed with caution. If you have any of those top individuals in your I feel sorry for you. If JJ is on there, maybe Carson Wentz can get the ball to him. Maybe he can get the ball to these stars that you have. But to me, Carson holds the ball too long. That's just my thoughts. He holds the ball too long. If I was the head coach, which I'm not, I'm a fan only. I'm just going off of fan based stuff that I see. 3-step drop out of my hand, 3-step drop out of my hand, 3-step drop out of my hand, dink dunk, run them to death, throw the long ball whenever you see man coverage. Blitz come. If I'm going against Carson Wentz, I'm bringing the blitz because I want to see how long he's going to hold the ball and is he going to make the right decisions. That's all. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right. So, how many quarterbacks we have out in week 3? Quarterbacks that's out: Joe Burrow, toe; Jaden Daniels, knee; JJ McCarthy, ankle; Justin Field, concussion; Brock Purdy, toe. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 quarterbacks out going into week 3. Kudos to the Niners for pulling it out without Brock Purdy. We're going to see how they look again without Brock Purdy. All right. Running backs that's out: Austin Eckler, we already talked about Achilles out for the season. Aaron Jones, hamstring, doubtful. They said that he might play. When you got a hamstring issue, those things hurt and it take a while. Um, the secret to a hamstring is pickle juice. Yeah, I let it out. Pickle juice. Um, Wide receivers that's out: Jaden Reed for the Packers, collarbone out. Chris Godwin for the Bucks, ankle out for 2 weeks. Brian Thomas Jr. at the Jaguars, wrist issue. Doesn't say that he's out. Xavier Worthy, he should be back for that Giants game. They didn't put him in. They said that he practiced for the Philadelphia game, but they held him out. Xavier Worthy, shoulder issue. Christian Kirk for the Texans, hamstring, out. No, he's not out. They just said hamstring. Kavontae Turpin for the Cowboys, neck injury. That's a hurt piece. He's so fast, man. I mean, Turpin is fast. He remind me of Deshaun Jackson. Casey Washington for the Falcons, concussion. 9 times out of 10, you won't see him. All right. Um, Juan Jennings, ankle. DTD. To be decided. Don't know. Day to day. So, a lot of injuries going into week 3. And these are major injuries to teams that are expected to do well this year. The question now is going to be, can the Cincinnati Bengals make it to the playoffs? Can the Washington Commanders overcome and make it to the playoffs? These are now the questions. All right. Getting back to my Philadelphia Eagles, I think Adam Schefter and everybody else has really made it clear that the tush push or the brotherly shove will probably be banned for the next season or permanently be banned. This is what the thoughts are, because they think why it's going to be banned, and this I've rubbed my head on, because Philadelphia, you have caused, if they do ban this, is because of you, and not taking nothing from it. Do Philadelphia need the tush push? No. That offensive line is so talented. That running back that ran for 2,000 yards can definitely hold his weight and more. The issue with the tush push is, if you're going to do it correctly. The problem is they're saying that the lineman is covering up the ball on the offense, where they can't see when the ball is snapped, and the linemen are getting a head start on the defensive line. So let me show you this picture. And I wish I actually got another picture of this. The linemen, they're saying the front line of the tush push, these linemen here are going ahead of the snap. And they saw it twice in the Kansas City game. And it wasn't called due to the fact that the line judge could not see down the line. That is what they're saying. And you really can't make a decision that is a false start on the offense if you don't know where the ball is. Philadelphia, the light is shined on you now. And what I mean by that is this. You have to execute that play with so much precision now that you can't mess up because they are going to call it as soon as they see someone leaning forward or if they see the ball move. They're going to actually ask you to line up and they're going to put a judge right there on the line so that they can see who's jumping off. Philadelphia, I love like I said, I like the tush push. You know, I like that it's something that nobody else can do and nobody else can stop. I love that for us. But in the same token, if we're going to do it, let's do it right so we won't be claimed as cheaters. Because people are getting frustrated. But I don't care. You know, they don't like the tush push. I don't care. They don't like us. We don't care. We just don't care. All we care about is winning. Have you not understood that yet? Just like your boy Chris Jones was like, you ain't even throw over 100 effing yards. You didn't throw over 100 effing yards. And what did my MVP Super Bowl quarterback say? Shut the F up. We won the game. I ain't had no problem with Jalen Hurts said. If you gonna say something, guess what? Somebody gonna say something back. You upset because you lost the game. You upset because you couldn't stop the tush push. You upset because you tried to punch the ball away and we still won. You upset because Travis Kelce needed to retire last year and he didn't. And he had 2 or 3 good plays, and then all of a sudden, boop, missed it. But let's go back to that play. I want people to understand this. This wasn't all Travis Kelce's fault. When Patrick Mahomes threw that ball to Travis Kelce, it was tipped by JC. Jalen Carter tipped that ball. And so when he turned around to get the ball, it was already off its trajectory. And so it bopped off his hands, bobbled off his hands. And there, my boy, Andrew Makuba. Makuba, that was a makeup because you let Patrick Mahomes straight truck you, dude. I ain't like that, bro. You let a quarterback make you look small. When you tackle, you got to wrap up them legs, man. You got to wrap up them legs, bro. He made you look small, Makuba. But you made up for it with the sack on Patrick Mahomes, with the interception. Bro, you balled out and you deserve the game ball. But for all that other stuff that Chris Jones was talking, It's out of frustration, bro. And you have every right to be frustrated. But it ain't Jalen Hurts' fault. It ain't that offensive fault. It's your it's your it's your inability to stay healthy or your teammates to stay healthy. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's something that's out of your control. And that's what's frustrating about it. You know, if Xavier Worthy was playing, I think it would be a different game. Yes, it would. Your boy Thornton was overthrown by Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce missed the clutch pass. Defense couldn't couldn't stop anybody at the end, where they basically ran down the field, and then you had Devontae Smith with the big catch. So, I mean, Philadelphia just found a way to win. Now, when you talk about that game and you talk about the tush push, Philadelphia did it 4 times. 4 times that they did the tush push. Maybe 5, but 4 or 5 times they did the tush push, and they closed this game out. It's really an unstoppable play. I mean, people could try to do it, but that line is, you talking about almost 340 pounds each. So if it's 340 pounds each, that's a big line, bro. And they tall and they heavy, and that just weighs on your defensive line. So, you know, understand your frustration. Understands you want to talk about stats, you know, but the biggest stat is that W, baby. And y'all didn't get it. All right. Going on to bigger and brighter things. I think the tush push probably has met its end at the end of this season. All right, undefeated teams. Let's look at who's the undefeated teams in the NFL. Woo wee! My boys is one of the undefeated teams, so that's why I'm happy. You know, I don't know how long I'm gonna be happy. You know, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Keep it a real bean with you. Um, man, I'm gonna keep it a real bean with you on this one. Um, man, I keep on saying man because sorry about that. I don't know where I went to real quick. But let's see here. We're talking about um, undefeated teams. Got disconnected there. All right, undefeated teams. All right, undefeated teams. We are going to talk about the Bills. Let's go to the AFC side. The Bills are 2-0. Not only that they're 2-0, they put up points for 71 points. Seems like they lead the AFC in points for. Points allowed was 50, which they don't lead that. They just got beat by the Ravens. The Ravens allowed points against is 58. So we got the Bills 2-0. We have the Chargers, shockingly 2-0. The Bengals, shockingly 2-0. And out of the real shocker that no one ever seen coming back, DJ, aka Daniel Jones, has gotten the Colts to 2-0. Wow. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 AFC East AFC teams that are undefeated 2-0 going into week 3. Awesome sauce, baby. Awesome sauce. Like that. Like the competitiveness. Let's go to the NFC side. Well, we got a slew of 2-0 teams. Of course, you got my Philadelphia Eagles. Then you have the 49ers, that's 2-0. You have the Cardinals, that's 2-0 in that division. And you have the Rams, that's 2-0 in that division. Crazy, right? Then you have the Packers, that's 2-0. And then you have the Bucks, that's 2-0. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the NFC that's 2-0. Great start to those teams. Let's see in week 3. Because in week 3, the Philadelphia Eagles have to go against the 2-0 Rams. Somebody got to lose. But they're playing in Philadelphia. Which I'm loving that. It's nothing like playing at home. It really is. It's nothing like playing at home. And so those undefeated teams, we want to see in week 3, will they still be undefeated at the week 3? We will see. Now, the best 0-2 team that is out there is the Kansas City Chiefs. And you say, well, of course they are. You know, Kansas City didn't expect to be 0-2. We didn't expect to see that Kansas City would lose their 3rd straight game since Super Bowl and starting off this season, the 3rd straight game. So no one seen this coming. No one seen them losing to the Chargers. No one seen them losing to Philadelphia. And it's not, I can't say it's all Kansas City's fault. Kansas City got struck with the injury bug, and that's why they are the best 0-2 team. Now, let me tell you something. When Xavier Worthy comes back, it's going to be a different team. When Rice comes back and after his 6 weeks, it's going to be a different team. The only thing that concerns me about Kansas City is this. If Patrick keeps running like the way that he's running, because they made it clear that you're not used to seeing Patrick Mahomes run like this until the end of the season where they're in the playoffs or they're trying to get to the playoffs. Right now, this man trying to just get wins, so he is running all over the field like trying to make first downs. And he looked pretty good running, but here's the thing. Makuba failed to put the smackdown on him when he lowered the shoulder, but it's going to be somebody else that's going to rise to the occasion, Patrick, and get Patrick to the point where he lowered that shoulder. Their shoulder is going to be stronger than his, and he can get hurt. You don't want to see your number one prize quarterback get injured. You really don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. Especially coming off a Super Bowl that was one-sided. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs has a lot to prove. And so when you look at it in this kind of sense, look at it in the sense where the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be good once they get healthy. Once they get healthy, they should be fine. They really should. They should be fine. They should really be fine. The other 0-2 team that you might want to look out for is the Texans. You know, Texans going through the same kind of injury bug. I think they are a formidable team. The Jets, that's 0-2. Formidable team. Just let the injury bug go away. Like this first 2 weeks is like preseason for those teams that got injuries, and those teams that didn't have their starters playing. Giants, I'm gonna say preseason. They had that game. They had that game against the Heifer Hose, which is the Dallas Cowboys. I call them the Heifer Hose. Heifer Hose. All right. And why I say they had that game, if it wasn't for their offensive linemen doing stupid stuff, like, dude, and then you gonna get mad because they bench you and you shoving people's heads in the ground, you smacking people like they you a pimp, like they your hoes, and it's caught on camera, bro. Then you can't even line up and stay in your line position. False starts. All this happened during a nice drive, and then the one that he threw down there, and they were at the 2-yard line, and they had to be called back because you want to do stupid stuff. Yo, bro, I'm gonna need you to slow your roll and shut your mouth and just play. Understand that you're causing your team to lose. Enough said. Focus. This is the problem with these players that have so much talent. You have to have focus. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have no focus, it's a waste of talent, dude. Stop getting upset because your coach had to do the executive decision to say, yo, man, get him up out of here. And that's all I'm going to say about the Giants. They could have won that game if it wasn't for offensive linemen. Now, Dolphins, I'm going to go off and say this 0-2 team right now just needs to get rid of their head coach. The Browns, they need to start Shador. The Titans, I don't know what they need. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the Titans need. Nobody don't even watch. I don't even watch a Titans game. I'm gonna be honest. Titans just empty ship. Coach not there, running back not there, wide receivers not there, wide receiver hurt. You get Cam Ward. He's throwing like for 120 yards a game. Look, bro, Titans is rebuilding and they're going through growing pains right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're the number one pick or number 2 or 3 pick in the next season's draft. That's just how I feel about the Titans. All right. I want y'all to have a wonderful evening. But before you leave this evening, I also want to let you know about Fans Only Sports Talk, which is FOST and the cast. We will be on every Saturday at 6 p.m. or 6:30. I might want to push that to 6:30. Um, we'll be on. We have Charles Becker, Erica Wright, Wayne Wilson, um, Marlon Johnson, Kai Bryant, Joe Solomon. We'll be on every Saturday, 6 p.m. or 6:30. We're also on Spotify. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Apple Podplay. We are on Amazon Music also. So you can catch us anytime when you're traveling down the road. Just type in Fans Only Sports Talk. You'll see us and we'll be talking about our picks. Talking about picks, every week we pick to see what team is going to win. And so last year we had the winner of Erica Wright. She won the championship, got her. Well, we still hold. She still hasn't picked up her ring, but she's our first champion last year. I mean, the one last year. Our two-time first winning champion is Charles Becker. He won twice, and so the stats is like this. Right? Mr. Becker was 11-5 this week. Total is 21-11. He's tied with me, I believe. Yes, 21-11. He's tied with me. Erica Wright was 12-4 this week, and her total from this week and last week is 22-10. And I don't think she's tied with anyone. Could be wrong. She's 22-10. And Wayne Wilson was 10-6 this week. The total between this week and last week, he's 23-9. 23-9. And myself, I said earlier, I was 12-4 this week. And my total was 21-11. And Kai Bryant, the lone wolf, who always picks these lone wolf games, was 10-6 this week. And from this week and last week, he's 18-14. And who leads us all is Joe Solomon, who was 12-4 last week. He was 12-4 this week, giving him 24-8. Wow. So this is a tight ship when it comes to the picks. I love doing the picks. Haven't won a ring yet. I need a ring on this finger, y'all. Need a ring on this finger. All right. But thank y'all for watching FOST. I'm your host, Aaron Flowers. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast for today. Like I said, tune in at any time on iHeartRadio or Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. We are on it. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I will hope to see each and every last one of you on Saturday. If you want to get on FOST, hit me up and I will